Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Lesson number 25. Amazingly well done. Massive round of applause for all of you. Thank you so for being so persistent and co-creative. Quick recap of lesson 24. We were talking about, and that was optional, remember, terms and conditions apply. It was just a side gig, it was just a side quest, it's not optional. But finding your benefactor, we were talking about the fact that if you do follow our advice, if you max out your KPIs, your happiness, your trust index, and your freedom index, you are creating the sandboxes, you are creating the open sources. These are your modules, whether you call them side gigs, social enterprises, businesses, charities, political parties. These are the mini games within the mini game. If you are respectful towards lesson number 1 and number 2, the size and symmetry of your Y and the three indices of your Y, the bottom index of your Y is the freedom of the market, the affiliates. We don't call them the market, we don't call them the clients, we call them affiliates now, because they might have close affiliation to our module or they can be further away from our module, but they are soon to be affiliates or actual affiliates of our module, because our value is so amazing that if some human beings are not taking the fullest advantage of playing our module, our mini game within the game of life, like, come on, what's wrong with them, right? So when people have the greatest freedom, that's the greatest permission slip for them, for the greatest happiness and the greatest alignment slash the trust index. So you're maxing out the KPIs for yourself, for your team, and ideally for every single person that comes into your reality. And remember, they are affiliates because they will come, some of them for 5 minutes, some of them will come for 50 years perhaps, but it's up to them, it's their freedom index. But as you're doing that, as your module is growing and growing, because there's more and more co-creators coming to co-create that module, because now suddenly it's not yours, you guys have started it, but now it has a life of its own. There's more and more people coming into that sandbox to modify it how they please, to add to it, to have fun, to co-create, to follow their highest excitement within the parameters preset based on your vision of where you want to take your team and the rest of humanity, ideally, if your vision is big enough. As it happens, the amount of affiliates grows, the amounts of clients, the amounts of customers, the amount of consumers, the amount of subscribers, the amount of people who buy your stocks. These are all affiliates. These are people with the closer and further away affiliation. When those people show up, there will be benefactors. There will be those singular or small groups of people. Maybe it's going to be the benefactor organization, but there will be those individuals or small groups or even organizations, the benefactors, who can completely reconfigure your module and take it to the next level, scale it, expand it. They will give you knowledge, they will give you access to resources, they will give you access to new markets, they will give you access to the right people, they will give you an opportunity to take it to the whole new level. And you must be present, you must be aware, you and your team must be in a state of, you're not searching them, it happens serendipitously, you're not on the lookout. When we were saying about finding your benefactors, the benefactors will be there. Sometimes you will realize that they were always there, sometimes you will realize that they were there for a long time, you just weren't in the right frame of mind to see them. Now you are, now you're starting to explore those different possibilities. Once you notice them, it is up to you whether you want to follow that path or not. The general rule of a thumb is follow your highest excitement, follow the voice of your heart, follow your intuition, regardless if you're a humanist, religionist, or metaphysicist. Follow the voice of your heart and have fun. When you're having fun, when you are being free, when you are being cohesive, aka you are acting for the greatest benefit or the totality of the human experience, not just all the co-creators, not just the gamers of the game of life within your sandbox, within your module, within your organization, but everyone. When you are in that state of alignment, the greatest things come, the greatest things happen. If you wish, follow your benefactor, they can scale it. It's not necessary in the game of life. Remember, the greatest benefactor is you and your team, but it is optional. please don't close any options to yourself. If you want to go to the next level, many of you will become millionaires much sooner than within the next 6 years, and many of you will be because you will take the lesson 24 to your heart, and you will be open to the possibility of finding that key person who will elevate you to the whole new level. So that's it. But in order to get there, once you find, let's say that you've identified the benefactor, what happens next? And that leads us to the lesson 25: follow in order to lead. Now, what does it mean? As you know, or perhaps you are starting to realize, that on this channel we are reframing things in such a manner that sometimes it's so outside of parameters of the Overton window. Overton windows, these are the parameters of accepted consensus of the public opinion. So when you are very outside of those parameters, you feel almost alien. And we love doing that because we love consciousness expansion, because we love elevating people to the greatest expressions of their super consciousness slash genius self. So we are masters of co-creation. We are, our whole community, all of us are masters of co-creation. We are masters of reframing, and that's why we would like to introduce some of the plot twists of reframing, so to speak. So many people talk about the separate events of learning and then teaching. No, we're going to collapse that into one. We're going to say that the greatest teachers are invariably the greatest learners, which, by the way, if you study the character arc, if you study the history of your icons, you shall find out how amazingly consistent that is. Same thing, people are separating giving and receiving. Once again, I can assure you, if you go to many libraries in United States, you shall find, especially if those are public libraries, you shall find many public libraries with the sections that say that this section has been donated, or even the entire library that has been funded by Dale Carnegie, that poor Scottish boy who has become one of the first equivalents of American billionaires slash the steel tycoons, because he was so dedicated towards proliferating knowledge, proliferating education. He understood that the game of life is the game of learning, it's the game of co-creating, it's the game of mathematical models of getting everyone together, keeping them as a cohesive unit, and sending them off to manifest a specific vision, a specific goal. He knew those things. These are not new concepts. So the same, once again, the greatest receivers are the greatest givers. Giving is the greatest form of receiving. That, yes, once you become, I wish that you don't stop. I wish I don't. Once again, we're going back to the meme of a single mom. Who, whatever is your walk of life, whatever is your financial situation, there will be people coming to this channel who are dirt poor. There will be people who have few cents on their bank accounts. I don't care. We don't care about that. Whether you are on zero or slightly higher, or you're a superhero, you're a millionaire already, we welcome you. We wish to co-create. We wish to learn from you, and maybe you'll learn something, and you will learn something from us in return. No matter where you are, we want you to play the game of life to the fullest, and that of course includes the financial aspect of it. Whether you want to be a thousandaire or millionaire, multi-millionaire, billionaire or multi-billionaire, sky was never the limit. It's only up to you. But many of you, once you get to that level, I strongly encourage you, please, please, please be charitable. Philanthropy used to be a huge thing, not just in Britain, but in the United States. Many of those super rich people wanted to ingrain their impact in and their names in the philanthropic enterprises that they have started, because they wanted to leave something behind for the greater community. I've told you guys in the first lesson, it's not about content co-creation, it's not about organizations, it is about legacy, it is about leaving something behind. Hopefully you will leave your sandbox, your organization, your mathematical model in better state than you have found it. So that is part of your impact, that is part of your legacy. Please treat it very seriously. But once again, the greatest givers are the greatest receivers, because you don't only receive the endorphin hit that you are such a great guy because perhaps you are funding education for new entrepreneurs who will come after 10 or hundreds of years after you're gone. No, it's more than that, guys. It is almost metaphysical that you will have those opportunities opening for you. And our humanist brothers and sisters will have a very simple explanation for it, that hey, your reputation travels, what goes around comes around. That's what humanists call it. Some religionist traditions call it the law of karma, others call it the law of attraction. Metaphysicists, brothers and sisters, essentially what happens, the word of mouth travels, your reputation travels. I've told you guys, your impact and your reputations are the two twins co-creating the first chapter of the rest of your legacy. Your reputation travels, just like Warren Buffett has said, you are working for your reputation your entire life, and it takes 5 seconds to destroy it. Take it very seriously, but it works other way around. The word of mouth travels once people realize that you are co-creative, collaborative. You can be rich and you can be super good at the same time. I wish that to you. But you will come to realize that all those opportunities will be opening to you because you are such an amazing human being that you give so much back to the community. It's called liquidity for a reason. It's not called stroke. Like, you get abundance from people and you send abundance back. It's circulation. Just like you have the circulation of liquid called blood in your body, which is just another framing of water. It's what, yet again, it's the water meme. I'm sorry, I've been abusing that meme for so badly. Please forgive me. So this is it. The teaching and learning, one and the same thing. Giving and receiving, one and the same thing. They are not separate. There's just positive and negative or separation framing. Same thing we're gonna do with leadership. In order to be a great leader, you must be a great follower. So that's the lesson 25. Lead and follow in order to lead. So what it means is that as you are building your businesses, your enterprises, your charities, your political parties, hopefully, fingers crossed, you have followed our gentle suggestion of keeping it as open source and as interactive slash sandbox experience, that you can create mini modules within, mini games of life within, and game with the module within module, the mini game within mini game. Hopefully you can do that. When that happens, what you are doing, you are opening yourself to those different connections because you've got more and more affiliates, and then you're starting to realize that you are not really capable of controlling it. So that's why the following in order to lead is so important, because you are following not other people. It's almost as if you are the little spider in the center of a giant web, and there are other spiders, which is your team, and then there are other spiders that is your closest affiliate, and further down. And as all those beautiful spiders are co-creating that giant weave, they are weaving the web of life, which is your epicenter, of course, is your module, is your mini game, it's your organization. That's what you are focused on, because lesson number 15, focus on your focus. And remember, you are manifesting the vision, so you have a clearly delineated goal here. But as you focus on that, as those little spiders are co-creating all together, almost as if they are creating a rhythm, a vibration, almost as if as they are having their activities on that web, you are almost, as you're getting more and more sensitive, it's almost as if you are sensing that vibration. It's you are sensing the energy, almost as if they are having an impact on their part of that giant web of co-creation, and that impact creates vibrational frequency. It creates another wave function as they are walking in up and down that web, and it's almost as if you are becoming so psychic, so super sensitive, that you are picking it up, that you are picking up those different currents, different flows. And that's what you follow. You don't follow the news, you don't follow the other organizations, you don't follow the people, you follow all of it at the same time. You follow the current, you follow the flow, you follow the energy. You've heard it before. There's so many amazing people. There are athletes, there are performers, there are people who are into performance on stage. They will tell you that being in the flow is the opposite, because you can be in a negative flow when you are in having a fight or flight response. That people will tell you it's like a tunnel vision, that you are going super fast because you're running for your life. But this is the opposite direction. This is when you're not at the bottom of your happiness index. This is when you are at the top of your happiness. This is when you really take in the lesson number 14, law of gratitude and appreciation, to your heart. You really live it. You don't follow it as an advice. You have become love, gratitude and appreciation, and you have become 8 out of 10, your medium index of your happiness on a daily basis. This is how great you are in maintaining your attitude and maintaining your focus, and the art of reframing. Each and every time you invite yourself to collapse your happiness index, you are coming back, you are coming back, you are coming back, and now you less and less you're going down. Now you're becoming super consistent. That's when you develop that superpower of sensing those currents which are all around you. The multi-billion ideas and opportunities are all around you, but you are not sensitive enough yet to pick it up. But once you start operating from the super consciousness frame, once you start operating from 8 out of 10, and you start synchronizing the rest of your team, you will be open to that. So that's what we're talking about when we talk about the following the current, that you become in that flow, you become in a zone, you are super focused, and the flow itself, the daily workflow, as you work by yourself at first and then with your team, and it is so exhilarating that this is part of your identity now. You love doing it so much. This is where you're getting into the flow, and this is what you follow. You follow your highest excitement, you follow the flow, you follow that current called life. It's like an amazing Amazon river, and you are right in the epicenter of it. And then you start to realize that this is it. The alignment is everything. This is the metaphysics of life. That all those people who are struggling, they are just like at the peripheries of that giant Amazon river called life. They are just going against the current, or they are going super slow because they haven't aligned with the flow of opportunities that was always there. And this is one of the most magical moments of your life. And this is why the enlightened entrepreneurship is so great. Yes, I want you to have those toys. I want you to have the super yacht and the super jets. I want you to go to different country every single week. Yes, yes, yes. But trust me, nothing will give you that amount of satisfaction, that amount of exhilaration when you are in the flow. Honestly, guys, I cannot remember. Many of you will be, the closest thing I can tell you to describe, many of you will be not co-creators on the digital stage. No, you want more. You want to go on a physical stage, especially if you are very high on the empath scale. You want to go onto the stage because then you go into the flow, you connect with the audiences, and this is, I hope that YouTube will not demonetize this video. This is like a positive, no, you're not going to use that word because there might be some children, but the word that starts with D, the word that we don't use because it's affiliated with compulsive disorders. It's like that. It's like you are flooded with endorphin because it's almost as if you have aligned yourself with the audience, and if everyone is ecstatic, you are ecstatic. That's why, honestly guys, if you're a stand-up comedian, if you're a performer, if you're an artist, they will tell you it is being on stage is the best part of the co-creative arc. It's the best part. Yeah, being in a studio, writing songs, yes, 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 yes. But being on stage, being connected with that mass of people and collapsing into oneness, going into the flow and becoming like one. It's like all those different playable characters, all those different avatars, and yet you act and be one. It's mind-blowing, and I wish that to you guys. Honestly guys, this is how it is to be in the flow. This is how it is when you are following your highest excitement and you are inviting everyone. Remember, be respectful to their freedom. Some people will not go as fast as you do. Love them and let them go, and they will catch up with you if you allow them to, or maybe they won't and you will love them just the same. But this is the best part of co-creation arc, when you are starting to flow as one, not just with your team but with your close affiliates, and then further away, and then further away, that you are one with the flow of life. That's what we talk about when we talk about the art of be a follower in order to be the great leader. Because you know what? Then your aura will be having such an energy. You'll become what many in the industry call the presence. That person that comes into the room and everyone just turns out, because it's almost as if that energy is visceral, almost as if it's palpable, almost as if you have changed the temperature in the room just by the virtue of manifesting yourself physically in that room. That's how powerful you can allow yourself to become if you choose to believe you can, and if you align with the greatest amount of people. Because remember, it's not about that you are special, it's that all of us are one, and it's one super special 9.1 billion super family, which is constantly in a state of civil war because they are outside of the flow and they want to get there. They want to. That's what unconditional love, that's what the highest excitement, that's what the greatest exhilaration is. They want to get back, but they don't know how. Like going to those places, like, they are struggling on a corporate ladder. No, that's not it. They are stuck in those abusive relationships. No, that's not it. They are playing the game of politics because they want to control fellow human beings. That's not it. You have to go with the flow. And you go with the flow when you are greatest excitement and the greatest opportunity for the greatest excitement for everybody. That's the flow. And I sincerely wish that you're going to find yourself in that positioning. So let's just try to structure it a little bit, because many of our brothers and sisters, particularly those with the STEM fields, the humanists, the scientists, the mathematicians, the physicists, they need the mathematical structure. So let's give them that, because remember, we are co-creative but all-inclusive community. So let's just break it down into 3 levels of management / leadership. Because in order to, if you are here, when you will have those icons, where you will have those benefactors, someone will have to make a decision. Do we follow them? Do we connect with them? Or we don't? And that person, usually, if you are here, most likely it will be you. Because if you are here, most likely you will be the one leading your team. And the art of leadership is the art of decision making and responsibility taking. So someone will have to make a decision. Yeah, we're going. Let's go. Now, yes, it's about having fun, but it's about having fun towards the realization of that direction of your vision. So someone will have to make that decision. So 3 modalities of leadership and leadership skills. If you are a leader of your team, if you are a co-creator, if you are main director of the visual direction of your mini game, of your game of life, aka your organization, your charity, your open source / your sandbox, you will have to make that decision. So let's give structure, let's give mathematical formula. Level number 3 is the most popular level of leadership / management everyone has come across. I'm going to give you an example from American politics. I am the greatest president. That meme just never gets old, bro. It's just, no, everyone, especially if you like my humble self, you're a refugee from the corporate world, refugees from the corporate world, welcome here. If you are a refugee, you have come across those people who are, they are the proverbial glass ceiling, because deep down inside, trust me, when you are in the flow, when you are high skill set, high knowledge, and high proficiency, then your success speaks for itself. You just show the facts and figures that this is how much we've produced, this is the value that we have produced. Whether it's profit, or whether it's schools built in Africa, or whether it's subscription services, whatever, it's value. Whatever value, the facts and figures speak for themselves. You don't need to self-advertise yourself. It's usually those people who are highly insecure about themselves, their skill set, their knowledge. They shouldn't, because that's negative framing. And they shouldn't, if you are disempowering yourself, most likely you will disempower others. But that's what they do. They are highly insecure about themselves, and that's why they are broadcasting that I am the best, I'm the greatest leader, I'm the greatest CEO, I'm the greatest manager, I'm the greatest. Guys, for the enlightened entrepreneur, there's no such thing as the greatest. There's no greatest, there's no lesser, there's not even equal. We are one. We are one giant community of co-creators, 9.1 billion strong. Co-creation is not binary. I am co-creator. No, it's a spectrum. Everyone is on it. So that's the type 3 leadership. It's the worst type of leadership. Remember, people do not give up jobs, they no careers, they give up type 3 leaderships. If you have that type of leader, unfortunately, it's not a great person to be. This type 2 leadership is better. It is, remember when we were talking about when you will scale it, your enterprise towards branding. That's when you become a developer of developers. We were talking about the framework of the lesson number 11, the pitch of a pitch, that skill, your skill points, your experience points, your focus and your energy should be invested into developing your sales skills. So the branding is when you are becoming a developer of the developers of Salesforce, that you are developing those who develop those who will sell your vision, your branding, your identity. They are these guys. So this is whom you are, that you are teaching to teach. That's what you do. When you are that type of person that you really want to genuinely want everyone to be the best version of themselves, you are a great leader. Some of the greatest leaders, whether it's corporate, whether it's historical, whether it's government, whether it's social enterprises, the impact on around the globe, developer of the developers. That's the most of the leaders are in the third category. I am the The second category is the developer of the developers, usually very humble people, bless them. But then there's the plot twist, as always, the type 1 leadership, which is almost unheard of on planet. It does happen, but it's like a black swan event. It's like an event which is super improbable, which just happens because nature / chaos theory or God or multiverse, they all seem to have a great sense of humor. So they love when people have those preconceived notions of what's possible and not, and then they give you something like, no, actually it's much more probable than you thought it is. But these people do happen, but they are the least probable. They are the type 1, or as some people call it, 0-point leadership. These are the Lao Tzu meme, that you go to the sandbox, you go to the enterprise, you go to the company, you go to the government, you go to the political party, and you see all those people having fun. All those people they are in the flow, they are in the zone, they are having giant party because they are having so much fun following their workflows on a daily basis and following their highest excitement. They're maxing out their happiness index, their flow, aka the trust, their freedom indices. So, hey, what's going on here? What's going on? Oh, yeah, now we're having fun. Who's the leader? Who's the leader? What leader? We're just having fun. This is sandbox. This is everyone is following the highest excitement, but we're heading towards a specific goal. Our specific goal is the vision. It's that 2 and soon to be 3-dimensional representation of what we are all about. This is what encapsulates us as human beings. This is that moment when you transcend yourself from being the playable character, the avatar, and you start to play as a sandbox, as an organization. You no longer identify yourself with yourself, your physicality, mentality, and spirituality, and you transcended your identification with the team. You're no longer a team. Now you're almost like a family unit within your sandbox, within your mathematical model, within your system, within your module, within your mini game. Whatever it is that you are co-creating, you're having fun and you're giving the greatest possibility for everyone to express themselves. And in this framing, it's very much like a brain, like a human brain. The human brain is an amazing thing, especially when you're having fun. It's like a lighting up like a light bulb, like electromagnetically speaking. So this is kind of what it is when you have an amazing sandbox / open source / mini game experience, that everyone is lighting up, and there's no such thing really as a leader, because the whole thing is like a giant living organism. There is no leader in your brain. I mean, you say, well, I am the leader. Hey, tell that to your boss. You still have one. So no, honestly guys, the type 1 leadership, type 0 leadership is when you allow everyone. Remember the first and the second lesson, when you are maxing out the happiness, the trust, and the freedom indices of the bottom vertex of your why, of the rest of humanity, the affiliates, as we're going to be calling them from now on. You are maxing out, your team is maxing out, and humanity is maxing out. That's the type zero leadership. And of course, what do you follow? You follow your highest excitement, you follow the flow, you follow the rhythm, you follow that current, the life current, that vibrational frequency. So that's what I invite you to do, to consider that. Which type of a leader you will be, hey, they oscillate and they change with time. You can go to service to others, to humility, or you can go to service to self, to I am the great. No, we're not gonna do that anymore. Look, guys, we are apolitical. There are people from different political spectrums here, and there are people who are political agnostics, and people like my humble selves who are political atheists. I don't believe any of it because I take the fifth lesson. Don't believe any of it. It's all BS. I take it to heart. It's just their belief systems. We don't care what belief systems you have, as long as you want to co-create our sandboxes for the greatest experience for the totality of humanity. You are welcome. Please, please, please continue to shine. Very quickly, guys, few skill sets that I would like to give you in order to assist you with your leadership. The skill set that we were talking about within the framework of the 11th lesson, the pitch of a pitch, the sales skills. Guys, almost always, look, I am a refugee of corporate world. Nothing's gonna say that. Sales are super important to me because everything in life is sales. I'm ever so sorry. I apologize for that framing. Many of our brothers and sisters will take an exception to that. So if I have caused any inadvertently any inconvenience, I deeply and profusely apologize. But this is just the way I choose to perceive reality. When the member of your team negs out, when they collapse their vibrational frequency, when they go into negativity bias, what you are doing, you are reframing. But that's sales. You are selling them another version of themselves. You are selling them another perception of themselves. Whether they'll go back to happiness, trust, and freedom, it's up to them, but you selling them the best versions of yourself. So same thing when you have the vision, same thing when you find the benefactor, and then the rest of the team has to be pitched, because the rest of the team is like, no, I actually don't like that benefactor. We should be reliable on ourselves. We should be self-reliant. We should develop that skill set. We should develop those connections. We should develop that network. Fair enough. That's actually a very valid point. Maybe you should listen to your team. Maybe you have some other ideas. So it's always co-creation, it's always collaboration, but once again, you have to sell that idea to them. So the sales skills is super important, guys. The leadership is about sales, and it's about taking responsibility, and it's about being in a state of humility. Remember, we were talking about the every single human challenge being essentially the mathematical functions of three variables which are always within your discretion: the education, knowledge, skill set, teachers, affiliates, and icons. Your adaptability, which is skill set in and of itself, but it is so separate because it's highly aligned with your intuition. You can't really learn it. It is instinctive. And lastly, your humility. Always, always, always be humble. No, it's not me. It's our experience, it's our module, it's our co-creation, it's our company, it's open source, it's AI. No, it's God. No, it's the multiverse, it's quantum field, it's unified field consciousness, it's singularity. Always, 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 always be humble. When those leaders are the greatest, who are the least visible, so to speak. These are the leaders who are following the highest excitement, and they are inviting everyone else to do the same. And when you guys collapse into oneness, when you are those little spiders jumping up and down on that giant web called life, this is the great sandbox we are. So I invite you very gently, make sure that you will be modeling your mathematical models slash your modules based on this principle. Everyone is having fun, everyone is co-creating, everyone is following their highest excitement, everyone is aligning with the flow. Mwah, mwah, mwah.